Good evening and welcome to the Ferguson City Council. Let us stand for our opening ceremony. Meeting is now called to order. Silent prayer, please. The pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. At this time, Clerk Pittman, could you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Noel, Councilman Palmer,
Here.
Councilman Cassoff,
Here.
Councilwoman Robinette,
Here.
Councilwoman Lipka is absent,
She's excused. I excused her.
Councilman Williams. He is on Zoom, I see him, but he is muted. Councilman Williams. And Mayor Jones.
Here. A quorum is present. We move to the next portion of our meeting, which is public comments. We ask that you state your name and address. You have 3 minutes to give your comment to the staff and to the council. We will not answer you at that time. And within the 3 minutes, feel free to say anything you desire. However, when 3 minutes is up, we ask you to complete the sentence that you are in and don't start a new paragraph. If you start a new paragraph, I will hit the gavel and ask you to stop. If you do not stop, then we'll go to the next measure. Please speak into the mic. Clerk Pittman, who is our first resident?
Looks like JKL Property Management, Janice Kaminsky. Okay.
Hi, everybody. I'm here regarding rental license for my property owners that do not live in the state of Missouri. I am a Missouri licensed broker, and I can't seem to get any help from City Hall on why I cannot do the rental license any longer. I finally got all the postcards except for one, and they were all sent to my address. So I'm asking, been paying for it for over 10 years. You all have our management agreement for every property that I manage on file, unless they're gone now, I don't know. But I can't seem to get any answers. I was told to come to the council. So that's why I'm here. And I need somebody to let me know because we pay on time. We are never late with making the payments. I used to deal with Anita every year, and I understand she's gone now. But there has to be somebody in their department or in Public Works that can help us with this. I have one owner who is out of the country until March. I have no way to reach him. I have full authorization as his agent. So if somebody could get back with me in the next couple of days so that I know how to proceed, I would appreciate it.
Thank you. Staff will get back with you. Thank you.
Richard Rapp. Hopefully I'm saying this right. Richard looks like R-A-P-P. Okay, so he has already left, but he did leave a statement for you guys, so I'll make sure to get it to you after this.
Okay.
Um,
Ma'am, excuse me, before you leave, would you give your information to the city clerk?
I have it.
You have it already?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, next, I can't really make out the first name, last name. Moon? Is it ELC? El Cardo, okay.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Moore.
My name is Elcardo Moore. I live at 937 Edge Hill Drive. I have a small problem and it's turned into a molehill, a mountain. My home is at 937 Edge Hill Drive. I also have a home in Jamaica. I brought evidence and pictures of it. I also have a home in Florida. I have a home in Florida because of the fact that when it's too cold up here, I go to Florida. I also like fishing. In the meantime, my home in Jamaica, my home in Florida, as well as my home here, I use to allow people to stay with me. It helps pay the bills. Call Airbnb. There is my home here in Florida, in Ferguson, has 3 bedrooms. 2 of the bedrooms, if you, in fact, a Nick Castle, I guess is his last name, he searched to prove that I did not live in Ferguson. I love Ferguson. But he wanted to prove the fact that I didn't. So he saw my Airbnb, but he didn't read the information. It says that owners share his residence. Same way with all of my properties. The issue is, I want to replace my windows. Last fiscal year, I needed to do landscape. And the committee gave me the money to do the landscape. After they came and saw that it really needed landscaping, they gave me the $1,500. I put $4,000 in landscaping. I've been told I've got one of the most beautiful landscaped homes on our block. Now I want windows. Actually, Penny Windows says it's going to cost me $8,000. All I wanted was the $1,500 to match. But Lamika Covington says I don't live there. She lives on my block. But because she doesn't see me, she says I don't live there. Nick Keller says I don't live there. Larry knows it. So as I go down the line and I enter this situation, let me say to the committee, please join me this Friday or Saturday. I have a caterer coming in. I would love for you all to tour my home on the inside. You would be very impressed with my house at 937 Edge Hill Drive. I live there. I would appreciate it if I could get that $1,500 to go along with the money that I have to pay for my windows. I love Ferguson. I just don't stay here all the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore.
Kevin Day?
How you doing? My name is Kevin Day. I stay at 934 Edge Hill. I'm on the behalf of Mr. Moore. Just let him know that he do stay across the street like he stay. He don't be there all the time, but he stay there because when I need help and he there, he definitely help me out. And I get the rest of the time to him if he stay and wants something to say. I just want to let you know that he do stay there.
Thank you. Mr. Moore,
Counsel.
Mr. Moore.
Yes, ma'am.
You cannot come back and
So he
speak.
yielded his time to me.
Oh, okay, all right,
Okay.
okay.
Counsel, to me, it's extremely important that we represent Ferguson with love. And I think it's important, no matter where you stay at, that we serve as examples to other people. The head of Urban League, Mike Miller, has been in my home because we're friends. Keith Williamson with Centene Corporation, one of the board members, personal friend of mine, loves the home. I own 9 other properties in St. Louis. I own in Berkeley, Bellefontaine. I have a commercial building on Kings Highway. I chose Ferguson. I chose Ferguson. And it's ridiculous that I have to jump through these types of hoops to improve my property. If I show you, which I did to the committee, how bad the screens were in the rooms, the windows, and I gave them a legitimate contract from Penny Window. I have to fight to keep my house derelict looking. That's not what we want. So that's my plea to you, is that we work with this committee. Larry was so impressed with the landscape. But because Tamika said I don't live there, it went down. The legal definition of owner occupied. We need to look that up. Each and every one of us has the opportunity to go and stay with your cousin, your friend, or whatever. And I should not have to go down the street to my neighbor and say, I still live there. I'm just going to go and visit somebody else. That's embarrassing. And I wouldn't treat anybody like that, especially people that want to put money in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore.
Next is Henry, Ewanfu. Ewanfu.
Evening, council and citizens. I've asked this question several times about the streets, the street in Black Oaks. I still haven't gotten any answer what is going to happen to our street. It hasn't been maintained for quite some time, so that's, hopefully we can get some answer. If we have to have a written inquiry to the city to provide us that support, we will appreciate it. We're taxpayers, and we hope that when our taxes are collected and it is used for road repair in other parts of the city, it should also be used in our city. So that's what I would like to get a response from the council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Aldrich Clark. Clerk.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Aldrich Clerk. I own the business located at 9300 West Florissant. It's called Ground Zero. We started this business last year. We started building it out. We spent over $100,000 building this building. We went to the city of Ferguson. They approved permits. Gave me a business license and that stated it was an event center / bar and grill. And we decided once we came before you to get a liquor license, I was disapproved. So tonight I'm here to get a clarification on why we were disapproved. I've heard 3 different things. One is you didn't like the name, Ground Zero. The second was you didn't like the location of the business. And the third was you guys had a petition of probably 90 people that said they didn't want Ground Zero there. We have a petition that over 300 people said they don't mind having this bar there. All right, so tonight, I want to ask council to reconsider approving the liquor license for that location since you guys knew what we were building before we put all this money in there and then decided to not approve our liquor license. So again, I just want the council to reconsider issuing a liquor license for Ground Zero. Thank you.
Mr. Clerk,
Yes, ma'am.
you say you had a petition with 300 names?
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
that not correct? Would you turn that in to our city clerk, please?
I will. I don't have it with me, but I will. I'll bring it to her. I will. Thank you.
Thank you. Who is that?
Donald Stevens.
Bless you.
Good evening, council. I'd just like to ask the question, why do we have a charter? What would happen if we didn't have a charter? I mean, I'm quite sure it would be very chaotic if we didn't have a charter. In reference to charter, our charter, section 3(2) 3.2. Councilman Palmer is in violation of that particular section of charter, of our charter. I did receive some information, and I'm quite sure that everyone in Ward 1 or 2 and 3 received the information that was sent out in reference to the candidacy of the upcoming election. And on this mailing, I do not see anywhere where Councilman Palmer has resigned as Ward 3 councilman, because I believe there's no ambiguity in section 3.2.2 under the charter. So since there was no reservation on the literature that was here, being a resident of Ferguson, a Ward 1 residents, I'm asking for Mr. Mike Palmer, Councilman Palmer, to resign his position as councilman of Ward 3 immediately. He no longer lives in Ward 3. We welcome him to Ward 1, and we look forward to the upcoming election. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens.
Emma James?
Good evening.
Good
My-
evening.
Evening. My name is Emma James. I'm a resident 5123 Rockingham Drive. I am here today to bring to the council's attention the questions that my husband and I have in regards to the trees on our block, as well as the ones that are on Hawkesbury, Falmouth, and on Hill. The trees were cut down beginning of March, I believe, maybe the beginning of April. I have personally been sent emails in about the trees and the sidewalks. I noticed when Ameren sent out their, not Ameren, American Water sent out their notices, they came and trimmed half the trees on all of Rockingham. And now there is, it's not nice. The trees that are left are still tearing up the sidewalks. You cannot walk on the sidewalks. And on the other side of on the street, you still have trees hanging over, pulling down power lines, blocking lights. And I would like to know, as well as my husband, what is the actual plan to either come back and get rid of these trees, to trim them down, grind them to stumps? What is the actual plan? It's coming upon a year, and this is just not working. I mean, me personally, I'm not happy that I'm responsible for sidewalks that are tore up because of trees that were planted by Ferguson that the residents didn't even want when these trees were planted. So I would like some type of answer or resolution to that problem. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you, Ms. James.
Adrian Shropshire.
Good evening, council.
Good
Good evening,
evening.
citizens. I want to start out saying, glad to have you back, Miss Octavia. We missed you. I need some help from Ward 2 Council. We have a problem downtown Ferguson, across from the Victorian Plaza. That building has sat there and nothing's been done for the last 25, 30 years. It's been looking bad. That is the worst building in our city. The slates are falling off the wall. It's been condemned. They moved the people out. And right now, the only business in there is VKM. There has to be a representative of that real estate company here in North County that can handle the business of someone that's outside the city. We have to do something with that building, else it's going to fall in. We take care of all the other buildings, we build around town, but it seem like we just can't get anything done with that building right there at the crossing Victorian Plaza. Another issue that's come up, Airbnbs. If I remember right, when I first got on planning and zoning, there was no space for those type of living facilities here in Ferguson. There's been a couple try to come in, and I don't know if they're still going or not, but we need to get some kind of ordinance on the books and enforce it, because they are coming, and we don't know what goes on behind the four walls in remodeling these homes, the big homes, but we do need to get some kind of ordinance on the book for this short-term rentals. That's a must. There's two things that I'd like the city to do. Work on that building across from Victoria Plaza and bring some kind of ordinance in short-term rentals. Thank you.
Thank you.
Double chicken? Yeah, that's the last one.
Do we have anyone on Zoom?
We do not.
We don't?
No.
Okay. Public comments is now closed. We move to our manager's report. City Manager Hampton, do you have a report for us tonight?
Yes, ma'am, Mayor and Council. Pleasure being here in front of everyone tonight. We have two departments that are going to be presenting tonight. One will be Chief Doyle and the other Parks. Chief Doyle, if you wouldn't mind coming up. And at the end of Chief Doyle's, when he's done, we're going to do a proclamation.
Mayor, members of the council, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My report actually, as far as the community report, is going to be somewhat short tonight. One, we had some technical computer glitches in regards to our numbers, but some of the things that I still think is important that you all need to know is that staffing is still hovering around 80%. We did have if you guys recall, back in April of this year, we had a homicide that took place at 605 Platmore. That has been declared as self-defense. The individual was trying to enter another person's house on that particular block. The homeowner took matters in his own hand to protect his family. So that was ruled as self-defense. We also had another shooting homicide that took place on October the 10th in a 10,000 block of West Florissant. And essentially, it's two individuals inside of a vehicle, had a dispute over some food, and resulted in one individual being shot and killed. As far as we did welcome a new officer last month, Officer Duncan. He come to us by way of the St. Louis City Sheriff Department, so we welcome him. We also participated in the grand opening of the Gas Mart on Newhalls Ferry Road. We also attended Councilman Kassoff's neighborhood meeting a few weeks ago. And also the department took part in the National DEA Drug Take Back Program, which Ferguson took a total of 57 pounds collected in that event. We also participated in the Dine Out Night regarding TJ. Some of our local businesses participated in that. I personally went to the brew house for that event, so we thank them for that. Also in regards to Travis Brown, as you may be aware that today we gave Officer Brown what I call a welcomes escort to Spirit Airport from SLU Hospital this morning. Took him to a private jet to take him to a rehab hospital in Atlanta, Georgia. So we're looking forward to him on this phase 2 of his recovery. Hopefully that, he's come through with a full recovery. Also like to thank the public, the council, city manager, like I said, the general public for their support during these times. It's been tough for us for the last 3 months. The family is very appreciative. They wanted me to make sure I convey that to this council, to this community. That being said, I also want to bring up another topic that's been coming up in regards to dispatching. When I came to the city of Ferguson, there's two big things that was I call the major complaints. One was speeding vehicles in the community, and the other one was dispatch, the quality of dispatching and just the level of dispatching. We are having some serious conversations in regards to that and possibly what a contract of dispatching would look like for the city. And some things that maybe the community is unaware of is that, we get a lot of call-ins on our dispatching. When we get a call-in, that means that we have to take an officer off the streets to fill that dispatch center. But what that means for the community is that leaves the community short an officer out on the street. It doesn't do us any good, and obviously it doesn't do the community any good. Also, in terms of that too, that our dispatchers get paid about $41,000 annually. The city of Maryland Heights just put out a recruitment flyer for dispatchers where they paying their dispatchers $61,000 to $70,000 an hour, or not an hour, but I'm sorry, but annually. That's what our police officers make. So it's going to be extremely hard to keep what we have, especially the quality that we have. And as I mentioned when I first came to Ferguson, is that my primary job is that I know I'm gonna take some criticism, I'm gonna take some heat, but my primary job is to make sure that I do all I can in my God-given powers to make sure that our residents are provided with the safety that it deserves. And dispatching is something that we seriously have to start looking into because it's an issue for us. We cannot allow 911 calls to be delayed. When people call 911, they expect someone to pick that phone up and answer the phone immediately. By contracting it out, they may give us what we need in regards to that. So again, I'm looking forward to some further conversations in regards to that, but it's just some things that we need to consider.
Thank you.
Questions?
Yeah, any questions? Nope, okay.
There's two issues with dispatch. One of them is service, and you say that service will improve. The other one is cost.
Mhm.
Would it cost more or less if we were to outsource our dispatch? And how much would the difference be?
Yeah, that's a good question. And so we started doing some cost analysis in regards to that. And Ferguson, our CAD system that we have now, that's computer-aided dispatching, is archaic. I mean, it's just horrible what we're dealing with. In order to upgrade that, it's going to cost the city a ton of money. But if we outsource that, for example, if we contract dispatching services with St. Louis County, they have what they call Motorola Premier One CAD system. Over a period of 5 years, that would actually save the city $1.5 million in that span of time. And that's not even including the salaries of the dispatchers that we're currently paying. That's just the CAD system of itself.
So what was the bottom line there? I didn't catch that.
$1.5 million.
1.5 million. So it would cost 1.5 million less, and we would get better service.
Better service. The thing that St. Louis County have is that, so they have a bank of 911 operators. So when you call 911, it's just not one person answering the phone. There can be 8, 10, 12 people in there. And when one line is busy, it just goes to the next person. The reason that is important is because someone is going to pick that phone up in a short period of time. It's going to be able to dispatch that call out. The other thing is that not only do they have the 911 takers, but they have their own dispatchers that are separated from there. So as the 911 caller is taking in that information, he or she is also inputting that information in a computer and it's immediately going to the dispatcher. So oftentimes when you're on the call with 911, the dispatcher is putting that call out in real time to the police officers, again, which reduces response time for us. So that helps out our city.
Councilwoman Noor.
Can you hear me? So what's going to happen with the non-emergency calls when we go to the county? Will those calls go to the county as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And another good part, and I failed to mention too, is that St. Louis County also have what they call mental health experts in their dispatch center too. So right now, as it sits today, if we got a call for an emotionally disturbed person, obviously we dispatch officers to that. But having someone who specializes in a dispatch center who can get on the phone immediately with that person and try to talk them out of that crisis prior to us getting there is just beneficial to us.
Chief, I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
It was mentioned briefly during a consent decree about the FTO system versus the PTO system. Could you clarify that for, at least for me and the rest of the people? And give us your expert opinion about which one would serve the city of Ferguson better according to this consent decree?
So there's two systems. So you have what they call like a field training officer system. And what we have a police training officer system. And essentially the difference between the two is one, the FTO system is based off of like it's like a community engagement more model, where the PTO is actually teaching the police officers the basics of law enforcement. While the FTO program is good, it's beneficial, and the officers need to know those type of things, the PTO, in my opinion, is a little bit better system because it teaches the police officer how to be a police officer, but also we can input those community engagement things into our officers. We allow them to go to the community meetings to discuss things and learn how to interact with the community. It's just a simple system, and I'm probably downplaying it because that's the system I was part of for like 31 years. This was new to me when I came to Ferguson, but I'm a big fan of PTO.
Okay, thank you.
Chief, is the accreditation for St. Louis County's dispatch, they are CLIA accredited,
Yeah.
correct?
That's a good question. So the Communications Center is CLIA accredited. If you're not aware, so CLIA is I can't remember what the acronym stands for, but basically it's the accrediting body of law enforcement. So they accredit law enforcement agencies, basically saying, here's a set of standards. If you go by these standards, then, you know, we recognize you as a credible agent, so to speak. St. Louis County Police Dispatching, obviously along with the county police, is a tri-art agency, meaning that not only is the police department accredited, but the academy is accredited, which we use already, and their dispatch center is accredited. So thank you for bringing that up.
No problem, sir.
How is, are we close to achieving that certification?
So right now, as it sits today, we're looking at maybe a March date as far as being fully accredited here in the Ferguson Police Department. I know I haven't talked about that a lot at these meetings, but there's a lot of things that's going on behind the scenes. They're working real hard to get us that accreditation. So fingers crossed, I think hopefully we should be accredited come March of next year.
Thank you.
Mayor, I'd also like to point out, one of our things on the ISO rating for the fire department is how fast that call goes to 911 when we get it. And with all the transfers and all this, we probably would have had St. Louis County this time, we'd probably be a class 1 instead of a class 2, with class 1 being the best out of 10. So that's something else that I'd like to bring up. But at this time, we can do that special presentation proclamation.
Okay,
This time I'm asking Officer Klaus and members of my team to come up. Be shy. Come on up. Oh, taking pictures. Okay. All right. Again, Mayor, members of the council, ladies and gentlemen. You may or may not be aware, our own Officer Klaus was recognized by the governor earlier this year in regards to an action that he performed here in our city. So on March the 17th of last year, the Ferguson Police Department received a radio call for an emotionally disturbed person at January Wabash Park. Upon their arrival, they came across a young man that was obviously was going through a mental health crisis. Seeing this, the officers attempted to approach this individual, at which time this subject jumped into the lake. Officer Klaus, seeing that this individual was struggling, couldn't swim, took it upon himself, stripped himself of his duty belt, jumped into the lake in an attempt to save this individual. let it be known that while he's doing this individual is flailing, is kicking, which make it a very difficult time for Officer Klaus to bring this person ashore. But with his continued effort, he was able to bring this individual to shore, save this individual's life. I think that's important for this community to know. And I think Officer Klaus deserves a round of applause. We do have a proclamation that wants to be presented and,
Just did the whole proclamation.
okay, okay.
Recognizing Officer Jeffrey Klaus, dedication and service to the citizens of the city of Ferguson. Whereas on March 17, 2023, Officer Jeffrey Klaus demonstrated extraordinary bravery and heroism in a life-threatening situation, responding to a call of a young man in crisis at January Wabash Park and acting swiftly and without hesitation to save a life. Whereas the young man experienced a severe mental health episode and possibly under the influence, fled from the officers and threw himself in the frigid water of the lake, putting his life in immediately danger as he fled and submerged. And whereas without regard for his own safety, Officer Klaus quickly removed his duty gear and jumped into the freezing water to rescue the man, enduring resistance as the man kicked, pushed, and struck at him, yet persevering in bringing him safely to the edge of the lake, where assisting officers were able to pull him to safety. Whereas Officer Klaus' decisive actions in this critical moment prevented a tragic outcome, displaying remarkable courage under extreme pressure, and his selfless actions saved a life, exemplifying the highest ideas of law enforcement. And whereas Officer Klaus' quick thinking, physical courage, and unwavering commitment to the safety of others reflect the core values of the Ferguson Police Department, serving as a powerful example for all his colleagues and the entire community. Now, therefore, I, Ella Jones, Mayor of the City of Ferguson, along with the City Council and the citizens of Ferguson, do hereby proclaim this day as Police Officer Jeffrey Klaus Day. We applaud his outstanding bravery, life-saving action to save a person's life on March 27, 2023. We salute Police Officer Jeffrey Klaus for on this 12th day of November 2024 for his actions. Thank you. Council, would you come? City Manager, you all come. Clerk, come on down. We want to take a group picture with you so we can commemorate this day, like everything you are doing and will do for the city of Ferguson. Yes, ma'am.
My son. We traveled all over the United States. We were roommates.
Paying the price now.
I will. All right. So nice meeting you.
Go outside for a smoke. It's gonna, I'm thirsty and it's gonna make me pee, but I need more water. I know, but they'll have a roll call. when I'm gone. Oh, yeah, I can miss that. I'm gonna do that then.
The good news.
Yeah, that was good. All righty. City Manager, do you have anything else in special presentation?
I do. And council and mayor, as you know, I try to bring a department here every once in a while. And I know Parks does have a resolution on this tonight, so I thought I'd bring Joseph, our Parks Director, up to give a little update on Parks. Joseph.
Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. You should have a copy of this if you want to look through it, but it's mainly all just pictures. Just want to give you guys a quick update about what we've been doing in the Parks and Rec Department and what we got coming up. October was a extremely busy month of programs and community events, celebrating everything fall and of course Halloween. There we go. My staff did an incredible job this fall of planning a wide variety of activities and events, implementing them for people of all ages. Couple of highlights. We started out Halloween festivities with our Bowie and Friends event, geared toward more of the younger children. Very, very successful, very well attended. We had pumpkin carving at the firehouse, extremely well attended. We literally went through every single pumpkin that we had there. Chief Hampton did a great job carving and showing his skills there. We had our haunted house contest. It was wonderful to see all the decorated houses here in Ferguson. It was very, very hard to judge as well. We had our All Hallows Eve ball for those 21 plus. It was a great, well-attended event, again, great band, great fun. And again, I can't give credit enough to my staff who planned just such a wide variety of activities, trying to find something for everyone to have fun and celebrate the holidays with us. October also saw the end of the Ferguson Farmers Market for the summer season. We had a great, wonderful season and we're so excited for next year as well. We got more ideas and more plans. So Super excited for that. And of course, we ended Halloween festivities with our Ferguson Fall Spectacular here. Again, I can't say well attended enough. It was packed. We had an incredible turnout, incredible fun. Something really exciting that we did this year was also open it up as a fundraiser for Officer Brown. We had the news attend. They did a wonderful article about it. We had all of our vendors willing to donate a portion of their proceeds to Officer Brown as well. So it was really exciting to see the community really come together for all of that. So very great event, very proud, again, of my staff. We've had a lot of active adult trips. We don't call them senior trips. They're active adults. Our day trippers have gone everywhere from the Muni to the Fox, to some bottling, a winery. So they have a ton of fun. We usually do about 2 trips a month to get them out and active. Basically, and every trip is sold out for the rest of this season, so be on the lookout for spring trips as well. Last Friday, we hosted our first annual Veterans Pancake Breakfast. It was a wonderfully successful event. Excited to actually announce as well, because of our raffle and our sponsors that we had, we're able to give $500 each, over $500 to Fisher House and Team River Runner. They were our supporting agencies, so very incredible. Tons of great sponsors, tons of vendors. It was a wonderful event, something new we tried this year, and we're definitely looking forward to next year doing the second annual and making it bigger and awesome. So, and then upcoming winter season, we have a ton of fun activities planned. When our Ferguson's Winter Wonderland is December 20th, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. That is our big winter event here with photos with Santa, the Grinch, Anna and Elsa. We'll have a vendor village to find some last minute local gifts. Our farmers market vendors come. We'll have food and just an incredible evening, tons of lights. And if you've not seen our lobby over there, we're already working on it. So it's going to be a wonderful event. We are also, again, partnering with the Ferguson Fire Department and Ferguson Police Department for Santa and Sirens this year. Again, trying to bring some holiday cheer around to the community. So be on the lookout on our Facebook for the actual dates and the routes that's going to be in December. So excited for that. And then we also have a winter break camp over Christmas break. So the kiddos, for parents that have to work, we'll be watching the kids from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Here at the community center. So usually get a big turnout of kids and they have a lot of fun over winter break with us. And then a couple park project updates. We've been working really hard. A lot of this unfortunately just kind of has to wait till spring when the weather gets better. But Langroy's playground is built by our manufacturer. So it's ready to go in the ground as soon as spring hits and the weather looks good. That'll get put in over at Langroy's. West Florissant Community Park is trucking along. We did get final approvals from MSD on our BMPs and all of our bio basins. So that was a big hurdle, but we're ready to go. So we should start seeing some progress on that throughout the winter. But again, spring, when weather clears up, will be a lot of it. We're working on getting our story walk put in over at January Wabash Park. Again, this is a fun little partnership with the library where you get to walk around the lake and read a story page by page. So Public Works is working on getting those cemented to the ground. Unfortunately, the rain and the almost flood and all of that kind of put that back a little bit. But we're just trying to get that in hopefully this month to unveil that project. Our soccer mini pitch is open to the public and available to play. We are going to wait until Saturday, May 3rd for our official dedication and celebration. St. Louis City Soccer is very, very excited for this. That's also going to be the opening day of our farmers market. So we are going to do a whole St. Louis City Soccer Day in Ferguson. They're going to have a lot of the players out. They're going to have hopefully some free tickets and giveaways and a whole big old bash. So mark your calendars for Saturday, May 3rd. We'll officially dedicate that project. And then finally, as mentioned, I do have a resolution tonight later on, but I'm excited to announce that I did write and receive the 2024 Municipal Park Grant this year for adding a new playground here at the community center. This is a $450,000 grant from St. Louis County. So we're going to keep the old playground, but add in a brand new playground with rubber surfacing, lots of extra shade for our summer camps and winter camps and spring break camps and all of that stuff for the kids to enjoy. So I'll back up here in a little bit for that as well. Those are all kind of what we've been doing, and we're excited for this winter. So I'll answer any questions.
Yeah, so currently we do have a toy drive going. Is that correct?
Yes. For Santa and Sirens, we are doing a toy drive this November to collect toys. You can drop them off here at the community center, at police department or the fire department. We're collecting as many toys as we can. And then on the Santa and Sirens routes, we do give those out to the community. So Yeah, if you know of anybody who'd love to donate some toys, we're looking mainly for stuffed animals, unopened toys, things like that.
One other question. Who won the hay bale contest?
I'll have to check my notes. I believe Fire won for a second year in a row, though. So
Thank you. We'll accept the award. It's part of hay bales at Halloween.
You said hay bales?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what did he say? I do have a question for Joseph. What about the Feed the Masses program? Is Ferguson participating in that this year?
we are not doing the countywide one. We wanted to focus mainly on the toy drive this year. And I believe we're also going to do a small one for a local food bank. But yeah, we're not doing the countywide Feed the Masses this year.
Councilwoman Robinette.
I don't have a question, but I just have a comment that Parks and Rec, I guess to work there, your energy level has to be about here. So I want to say thank you for all that you guys do to keep so many people engaged in the community. Good work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph.
I have one other comment I'd like to make. So you will see around Paul Avenue, right at St. Louis Avenue at the creek area, they're doing a bunch of work with MST. That's called Project Clear. And so they're working on that now. So when you're driving that Paul area, please use caution because there are a lot of workers around that area. Okay, and that's all I have tonight.
Any other question for the city manager? Hear none.
I have one.
Presentation is closed.
I have one.
Okay, Councilman Williams.
Ping pong table. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we got 2 or 3 of them, yeah.
Yes, it's there, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions for the city manager or Parks? Hear none. Special presentation is closed. We don't have a public hearing for tonight. We move to our consent agenda, city council meeting minutes, the regular meeting minutes for September the 24th and October the 8th. I'm requesting a motion as a second to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The minutes are approved. We go to boards and commission. We have the CRB meeting minutes from September the 9th. I request a motion and a second to receive and file the minutes.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second, Naquita Noah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Board and commission minutes are filed. We don't have any appointments for tonight.
Mayor.
Yes, Councilwoman.
Thank you,
Noah.
Mayor. There were 2 applications submitted for Ferguson Special Business District. And we've been going kind of round and round about this. Just for clarity, I'd like to just have a short discussion when it comes to the boards and commissions applications. Again, with the 2 applications, Octavia. So with the 2 applications, are they ready for processing? So for clarity, what Octavia asked of me is she needed clarity when it comes to due and delinquent. So as everyone knows, if you haven't received it yet, you can go onto the county's website. The 2024 tax bills have been issued. I have not received mine yet, but it is on the website. So for clarity, if an applicant has submitted an application for a board or commission and their 2024 taxes are due, which means they're not delinquent yet, can we go ahead and process their application if the taxes are due, not delinquent?
Council, what is your pleasure after hearing Councilwoman Noah's explanation about the difference in taxes due and delinquent when it comes to the boards and commissions?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand the words she said due to the
Okay.
acoustics in here.
What-
Um,
I can
but-
repeat.
But boards and commissions, that's not on the agenda.
No, she brought it up as during the appointment section. I know it's not on agenda. Let's give her some grace.
No, okay, I didn't understand.
So,
Which,
okay, so, there were two
Don't
FSBD,
speak into the mic, speak.
there were two FSBD applications submitted. Is that better? Can you hear me better? And what the clerk needs clarity on is if an applicant submits an application at this point, the 2024 tax bills have been issued, which means probably everyone in this room, taxes are due at this point, but they're not delinquent until 12/31, 5 PM of this year. So if someone submits an application, can we go ahead and process that application, although the taxes are due? Because the ordinance states that the taxes have to be delinquent. Now, if the taxes are delinquent, which means that they owe for 23, 22, 21, that's delinquent. For 2024 would just be due. And I personally feel like we should be processing those applications. And so, do you all agree, disagree? Because if, out of the two applications that have been submitted, if the taxes are just due, I would like to ask for the application to be processed so that we can approve that person for the board.
I'm checking on what the ordinance says. I will say this, taxes are not delinquent until after December 31st. And we ought not hold it against anybody that they didn't pay their taxes early. So if the ordinance on boards and commissions says due rather than delinquent, we need to update that.
It states delinquent. It's, section 2-382.
It says, okay, and no person shall be appointed who is in arrears for any taxes due.
Okay, section B, after the submission of.
Section, I'm looking at, section 2-381F.
And I'm looking at section 2-382. After the submission of an application, the city clerk shall verify occupancy of the applicant and if the applicant has any personal or real property taxes that are delinquent to the city.
Right, okay. So yeah, any taxes for 2024 don't become delinquent until January 1st, 2025. So if you have taxes due for 2024 and you're up for a board or commission anytime between now and December 31st, that's okay. January 1st, if you apply for a board or commission, that 2024 tax bill has to be paid. But the language in this ordinance is actually right, unlike some of the other ones we were discussing.
Yes, that's.
So if anybody applies for a board or commission right now and their 2023 taxes are paid, but 2024 taxes are not paid, that's okay through December 31st, according to the ordinance, and I agree with the ordinance. I don't have a problem there.
Okay, so we all in agreement?
I think so.
Yeah, we all in
And I think
agreement.
the ordinance is okay as written for this
Okay.
particular subject, yes.
Well, thank you, Councilwoman North, Councilman Palmer. Unexpired, yeah.
I mean, people come and go a lot.
They do.
Can you be?
Yeah.
Okay, so we all in agreement. And I just would like to say, Councilwoman Noor, that should have come up in unfinished business. We gave you some grace this time, okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
So can I just ask one more question? Since you gave me grace, I appreciate that. How can we proceed with appointing the person who is eligible to serve? Because they're not on the agenda and their application was submitted. So are we going to have to, at what point can we appoint that person?
Well, we have a special meeting next week coming up. They could be appointed at the special meeting. That is no problem.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We gave you grace. Okay, at this time, we'll move to our liquor license approval. City Clerk.
Yes, you have one license for USA Market, that is coming up again. At the last meeting, you all gave them a conditional for 30 days. Well, not at the last meeting, at the September meeting. You all issued a conditional for 30 days, due to some inspection, some lighting issues. And it's my understanding that those have all been corrected. So they're coming back now. Their 30 days has expired.
City Manager, have they been corrected?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So I need a motion and a second to approve the renewed USA Market liquor license.
So move, Naquita Noah.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. We have any questions? If not, we're ready for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. USA will get their renewal license. We have another proclamation for tonight, and that's recognizing Nigwar Materials. Whereas Nigwar Materials, founded in 1927, has proudly served the community for 100 years as a provider of high-quality building materials, contributing to the growth and development of the city of Ferguson and beyond. Whereas the family-owned and operated business has flourished through 4 generations, reflecting a legacy of dedication, integrity, and continuity that has strengthened both the organization and the community. Whereas over the last century, Nigwar Materials has been a vital community supporter, supporting local events and activity, participating initiatives that enhance civic life and foster community spirit. Now, therefore, I, Ella Jones, Mayor of the City of Ferguson, along with the City Council and the citizens of Ferguson, do hereby honor and express deep gratitude to Nigwar Materials for its century of dedicated service, invaluable contributions, and unwavering commitment to our community. We commend their exemplary role and lasting impact of the city of Ferguson and looking forward to continued partnership and shared success in years ahead. Let's give them a hand. Is there anyone here from the business who would like to receive the proclamation? If not, we will make note that it will be at City Hall with the receptionist, and they can pick it up at any time. We move to resolutions. Before we go into resolution, I need a motion and a second to amend Resolution 2024-48, not to read. In it, it have use of force training, but we want to amend it to First Amendment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Resolution number 2024-48 will be read as amended. Without objections, will introduce by Mayor Ella Jones. Hear none. Attorney Ryan, could you please read the resolution?